fine.
Fraud.
WCW Saturday Night was taped. So unless this was a rare live show, this was all complete bullshit. I'm going to have to go back and do some investigations. If anybody remembers what happened this day, let me know. But I should have investigated this before we went on the air. But maybe I'll do an update on Figure 4 Daily tomorrow. But
I had forgotten this. I used to watch this show religiously every Saturday. I had forgotten the really, really stupid Terminator Factory intro they had, where they showed a Terminator being made with the music and everything, and then the robot arm suddenly grew skin and muscles and flexed. That was the show. That was the intro to the pro wrestling program. Lame.
Shivani, Heenan, and Okerlund were the commentators, and they were talking about the upcoming Hulk Hogan-Ric Flair match. Yes, 1994. Hulk Hogan was about to wrestle Ric Flair. 15 years ago. Hulk Hogan is about to wrestle Ric Flair again!
Yes.
This was surreal. So, then they show footage of Hogan arriving in a limousine, complete with a motorcade. Meanwhile, by the way, on Impact a few weeks ago, AJ Styles showed up in a rental car with a backpack. And people tried to tell me that I was an idiot for pointing that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had the Hogan video here with his awesome WCW theme music, and there was lots of him and Flair cutting promos on each other. And then there was Hogan at the beach flexing his muscles, and there were children behind him scared of his immense size. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Vader cut a promo about how he was a bullifant, and it was
Is that what he said?
Vader time.
He was shouting a lot is all I got out of this.
Begged fans to give him the opportunity, pick up the phone. Bischoff was interviewing, by the way. And then Gordon Soley was in the other locker room, and he interviewed the big boss man, who I think was... Who was he at the time?
Here they said the Guardian Angel.
That's right, the Guardian Angel. And he begged for a match with Vader. As if!
It was awesome because as these guys were cutting promos, the other guys would be in the locker room, and they couldn't just stand there, so they had to be doing something. So they'd be clapping their hands or rubbing their fists together, or Meng had his hands up and guys were throwing fists at him. And in the heel locker room, there was this tall, blonde guy with a ponytail who was just shifting his weight from one leg to the other. I thought, who is that? Who the hell is that man? And then I realized that is Jean-Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Triple H.
Yeah.
And then I looked around this locker room. In this locker room, you had Ric Flair, Triple H, Steve Austin, Harley Race, Terry Funk. I think I missed someone. Oh, Nick Bockwinkel showed up later.
Yeah.
This is like the greatest collection of talent, past, present, and future, in one room ever.
And they all look like complete morons.
And they all look like complete morons, and none of them matter except maybe Flair a little bbit. But I for a second there, I was just awestruck. This is like a Hall of Fame in one room.
And by the way, when I look back, actually, the tape, I realize the show was taped, but I guess they probably knew that every fan was voting for Flair versus Sting, so it didn't matter, and it wasn't fraud.
And then Guardian Angel cut his promo.
I mean, who was going to vote for, say, Ric Flair versus the Guardian Angel?
No one. There was, I couldn't, especially in that locker room.
Ricky Steamboat versus Jean-Paul Levesque?
I don't think so. But Sting was standing there as Angel was cutting his promo, and Sting had his back to the crew. He was just staring off stage, looking bored out of his mind. And then finally, Guardian Angel finished, and Sting turned around, and he slapped him on the chest. Then he made a fist. Then he gritted his teeth and stood there for a few seconds. Then it went away. Awesome.
Arn Anderson and Dustin Rhodes versus Bad Attitude of Bobby and Steve Kern. Not much to it. Eaton looked good. Hit a flying elbow. Went for second one. Missed. Goldust covered him for the pin.
He had a bulldog.
Hell of a match.
Bobby Eaton took a backdrop on the floor in this match. I have no idea why.
Because he's tough.
Sure. That's one word for it. Yeah, it was okay. They had 4 minutes. They did a TV tag match. They were just brawling everywhere. And yeah, then Eaton missed an elbow and Dustin hit a bulldog and won. They said Dustin and Arn had a match coming up with somebody, but I forget who.
Hulk Hogan and some geek named Jimmy showed up. Felt like it was in a time machine. I expected Hogan to have a book with him. And Okerlund interviewed him about the Bash at the Beach match. And he went nuts, plugging the 900 line, asking the fans to please vote Flair into the ring with Sting. And then he called out the, quote, toughest man in the world, welcome to 1994, Mr. T. T said if anyone tried to sneak out and attack Hogan at the beach, he was going to be there to take them out. And Hogan wanted to know what Flair was going to do when the largest arms in the world ran wild on him, and he still does, in fact, have very nice arms.
Duly noted. Yeah, it was every awesome Hulk Hogan promo ever. He talked about his match with Flair. He was very concerned with Sensuous Sherry, that she would be interfere. She had been barred from the building for this show, but he was worried she would interfere in their title match. He plugged the interactive wrestling concept, and what a genius Eric Bischoff was, who I forget, but on this show at least, he was just a backstage interview guy.
Yeah. So
it was funny that he'd be mentioned by name. And then he brought out Mr. T, and Mr. T said he was going to take care of business, and he basically said he would make sure that Sticky Sherry got nowhere near the ring.
Yeah.
All right. Other than that, an awesome promo, far better than anything on Monday Night Raw.
Then Flair went nuts with a promo saying he was the world champion. There was no way he was wrestling Sting tonight. Please don't call. Yeah. Ricky Steamboat in his Dragon Halloween costume against Tex Slazenger, the Godwin.
And I think it was Phineas. I'm really not sure.
I think it's Henry.
It may well be.
Anyway, Steamboat won with the High Cross in like a minute.
It was, yeah.
Nothing to it.
It was fine for a 90-second match.
Paul Orndorff and Paul Roma against the Patriot and Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Bagwell was not half bad here. He didn't do much. And then Dave Sullivan and Kevin Sullivan came out. Complete bullshit. Distracted Roma. Bagwell rolled him up for the pin.
This all happened at once. It was a complete mess.
That was that.
Really, the only thing notable that happened was earlier in the match, Bagwell did a O'Connor roll, which is where you bend, put the guy on his shoulders and stick his ass in the air, and then you sit on him. So it's a pretty gay thing anyway. And then he patted the man on the ass and bounced up and down to make it as gay as possible.
Announcer said, yes, it would be Sting versus Ric Flair in the main event, so nobody voted for Vader and Bossman. So then Sting came out with his theme song, A Man Called Sting.
I was going to mention this too.
Remember that song, everyone?
He does.
Parallels between TNA and WCW are just mind-boggling these days.
Well, this is all the same show where we heard the Dustin Rhodes Natural theme. This is the same WCW album. That was bad too, but Sting had the lyrics where it said, he does this, he does that.
WCW ring music was horrendous. And TNA has hired, I don't know, the same crew. I don't know what they've done.
Well, they hired everyone else.
Their music is just as stupid as this TNA shit. So Sting comes out, and Flair comes out. It's every Flair-Sting match you've ever seen. Flair sold for 95% of it. Sting puts him in the Scorpion at the finish, and then a fan hits the ring. Tosses a ref outside, gouges Sting eyes. It was Sherry in drag, I guess you could call it that, with a goatee and mustache. And Flair then clipped Hogan's leg because Hogan had hit the ring to take out this fan. And, of course, Hogan thought it was a Hell's Angel and was going to hook him.
Hogan was very concerned.
Yeah.
He was so concerned about this fan hitting the ring to break up Sting's Scorpion that he jumped in the ring and pointed at the fan.
Yeah.
Then he picked the fan up for an atomic drop with his hand on the fan's ass for a long time.
Of course.
Hit the atomic drop. Then he grabbed the fan by the hair, proceeded and was going to punch him. Then when he pulled back, the hair came off. And this caught Hogan off guard.
Yeah.
He thought this was a man the entire time.
Sure.
It was Sherry. Then Flair clipped his knee.
Mr. T made the save. Flair and Sherry bailed. It was a fun little deal. And it was something else to see this main event with all these guys. And of all the people, Sherry Martel is the one who's passed away. Yeah.
She may have been the only one on the show.
No, Pillman was there.
That's right. Pillman was there, too. Yeah. It was just, it also, this is an hour program, so they take the commercials off in 24/7. We watched it in 42 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But it got done what it needed to do. They had one big match to plug. They plugged it for the entire show. They also mentioned a tag title match with Cactus Jack and Kevin Sullivan versus Roma and Orndorff. And Sting had a match coming up with Regal for the TV title. But really, it didn't matter. They had an hour. They plugged the main event. And as I recall, it worked. I wish these... can you imagine how much better Raw would be if it was an hour?
Oh, yeah. All the shows would be much better as an hour. Much, much better. But not happening anytime soon.
Damn it.